Hello, I'm Yogi Stillness, and thank you for joining us. I'll be your guide in today's meditation. Today we'll recognize how mindfulness can help us create a more supportive atmosphere for everyone. Now, tune into the flow of your breath, and let's take 3 deep breaths together. Begin with a big inhale and hold it in. Let out a big exhale. Now take an even deeper breath in and hold. Let the breath out. And take one last full inhale and one last big exhale. Relax your breath now, making minimal effort to control it. Notice if anything about your posture is inhibiting your breath from flowing freely, and adjust as needed. Now start thinking about all the people in your life. There may be people you care for, those you don't care for, and even those with whom you don't have any strong feelings about. Think about any people in your life that you could try to offer more kindness to. Think of anyone you may have been unkind to, talked about behind their back, undermined, or otherwise undercut in any way. Think of arguments you may have had on social media, the car you cut off in traffic, or even a public figure you may have snide comments about. Think about how many of these interactions may have been shaped by misleading feelings. And contemplate what it is that may cause yourself or other people to act unkindly for a few minutes in silence. If your mind is disconnected from the breath, tune into the sound of the inhale and exhale once more. Now think of anyone you would like to be kinder to, and simply try to wish them well. Think of kind words you could say, support you could offer, and what it might look like if you were to practice being your most patient, uplifting, and supportive version of yourself. For another moment or two in silence, envision how to bring this kindness to the surface every day in little ways. Come back now and find the inhale and exhale again. And take one last noisy exhale and then release control of the breath. A well-known existential author, Jean-Paul Sartre, famously wrote a play called No Exit, where several people who had recently passed away were all in a waiting room for the afterlife. As the characters talk and interact, it becomes clear that they are all there to give each other a hard time. The idea is that all of our rewards and punishment in this life manifest in our interactions. It can be true that some people have more capacity to get under our skin, make us behave irrationally, or stir up feelings of self-doubt. People have the capacity to make one another unhappy, but we also have an equal noble capacity to uplift and support one another. The part of us that is instinctively prone to be unkind to others, say catty things, manipulate or undermine, is often unconscious. Many of these behaviors are absorbed when we are young, imitating the dynamics we see in our families, at school, professionally, on TV, or just out in the world. When we don't stop and examine our learned behavior, we may never realize the little places where our words fail to be kind, understanding, or supportive. We might make others feel small to feel big ourselves, or we may have a competitive need to be the best or the smartest, which can manifest in treating others as less than. The only way to overcome these instincts is to become more mindful of our behavior and reflect on the motivations that underlie our actions and desires. We may all have had those moments where we unthinkingly become the thief of another's joy. We might tell another person that the things they like aren't actually very interesting, or they can't pull off that style, or they should stick to their day job. A little bit of aggression or sarcasm is often viewed as being funny, playful, or even just being a straight shooter. But often in these situations, we may not realize how much of what we say to others is not helpful and may be a mirror for how we feel about ourselves. We may frequently miss out on an opportunity to uplift another person instead of tearing them down. While critical feedback can support another person's journey, we can lose sight of the difference between what we are saying for the benefit and what we are saying to make ourselves feel better. The more we can mindfully examine our behaviors and the emotions from which they arise, the more we can become an uplifting source for others and even ourselves. Come back to your breath now. And take one last clearing breath in and hold it for a moment and let it out. Then allow your eyes to open. Thank you for showing up for yourself in this practice today. We are so grateful for the opportunity to support you in self-care and look forward to meeting here again tomorrow.